questions?
I have one.
Go ahead, sir.
It's about the MBDA Business Center, Madam Mayor. There was some controversy about the personnel there, and and what I wanted to know is, we reported that the consultant for the MBDA, David Mosley, is the neighbor of the director of minority business development in your office. And I was wondering, were you aware of that fact when you signed off on the consultant, David Mosley, for the center?
That he was a neighbor?
Mm-hmm. Next door neighbor.
And that is relevant because,
Just seems like a coincidence that
did you pick your neighbors?
no, I didn't. But you usually
Did you choose a neighbor because you were looking for a job?
No. I mean,
It seems like a coincidence to me. And if it turns out to be anything different, we'll deal with it.
Okay.
Next question.
Let me just ask you if you have confidence in the administration of the MBDA Business Center.
I have confidence that we will administer the grant and do the work of the Business Development Center as best as we possibly can. It's too important to help us to grow businesses in the city, not to get it right. And my commitment is to get it right.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, a ruling came down this week about the super block. It looks like the judge has again stalled development of the project. This has sort of been an on again, off again thing. What's your opinion on this project at this point? Are you frustrated that we can't get it going, or what?
It's always frustrating to me when the legal process is protracted and it prevents meaningful development in the city. So it's frustrating. I've said it multiple times, at this podium, in the press, that we need to stop suing and start doing. There are too many projects that will lead to good jobs and the development of our community, not to get them going. So my hope is that the project in the super block will move forward, as well as we're waiting to hear some timelines on some other projects that have been delayed as well.
I wanted to know also about the state's attorney's race. You said several months ago that you were staying neutral. Is that still the case?
It absolutely is.
We'll talk about the best dress list?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get to something about it.
I mean, you're like the three women in the world. You're like, Mayor of Paris, Mayor of what, Madrid?
Yes.
I'm not serious.
Yes.
Well, if I could just convince my daughter that it was meaningful, I think it would be worthwhile. I feel vindicated because I'm a bargain hunter, and so for someone who prides themselves on spending less than $40 on suits to make that list, I felt very good. And I keep showing my daughter because she says I might have style, but it's old lady style. So she doesn't need my fashion advice.
If I could take some personal privilege, my mother and my sister, my older sister, always have complimented you. You have always
So
been.
why don't you listen to them?
I agree with them. But you, obviously, you've never really shown up anywhere. Well, like some people I covered in the past, I'll just leave it at that.
Do you
Okay.
put much thought in what you wear? I mean, do you make a concerted effort? Do you pick out your clothes at night? What do you, your fashion sense?
I don't pick them out at night unless I'm traveling. You have to plan that. I'm a budget shopper. I like classic looks. I like to be able to spice them up with some flair. People took notice. I appreciate it. It's nothing deep.
Do you think it's a plus or a minus? Because I know some people kind of feel it kind of takes away from your policy initiatives and what you hope to accomplish for the city.
Well, I will say this, when I'm trying to get something through the council that's very important, I try to wear distracting jewelry, so they'll focus on that and not pay attention you know, I get them to yes.
Madam Mayor, I do have one more question on
Mhm.
the pageantry. As far as your makeup and your hair, is there someone in particular you turn to for your tips or that you turn to get makeup ideas? Because I've heard rumors floating around, so
What did
that's
you
why
hear?
I asked. That there's just, you know, someone in particular that, you know, you get, maybe you watch to find out how you could maybe do that with your makeup.
If you're talking about RuPaul, I will confess.
Pardon me?
If you're talking about RuPaul, I will confess.
Okay, thank you.
But here, my stylist does what he wants. I've tried to convince him to do otherwise, but
But don't you think too that, I know that some people might think that there is not much significance in being recognized, but at the same time, you are, through your style, bringing attention to the city, and that
and
that
that's what
does
I
have.
said from the outset. Anytime we can bring positive attention to the city, I'm very, very grateful for it. You know, I've gotten questions from many of you about my appearances on Meet the Press or CNN. For me, it's not about me. It's about bringing positive attention to the city. And if I can do it, you know, because I like to wear gaudy jewelry or whatever, you know, that's fine with me. You know, I like bringing positive attention to the city. We got voted the worst dressed city, the ugliest city, like all these other things that, you know, at some point, well, let's take some positive attention and just roll with it.
I wouldn't say it's gaudy jewelry though.
I don't mind. Listen, if I had my way, it would be.
Could I ask about one of the settlements from today?
You can do my best to give you all of the information.
Sure, yeah, there was an incident with at City College with a student who was injured by a teacher when a chair hit hit the student in the head. I wanted to get your $50,000 settlement. Why did you approve that?
Because the settlement committee took a very good look at it, and as they do for all of the settlements, weighed both sides of the issue and came up with what they thought was a fair settlement. I don't have any particulars on this issue. It didn't rise to my attention as something that was outside of the norm coming from the settlement committee. You know, they do a lot of this work on a routine basis, and they have to look at all different types of cases, whether it happens in a school or on a street or, you know, whatever. If you want more particular information, I can look into that.
Great, thank you.
I can help you with makeup tips too.
I had to wear makeup once in a high school play, but that was the last
How
time.
did it go?
You know, it's an interesting experience. I don't really enjoy putting on makeup, so I don't.
I can fix all of that for you.
I don't envy what you have to go through in the morning. So
You think-
Madam Mayor, as far as talks with CSX regarding 26th Street,
Mhm.
do you think you're near reaching an agreement?
Near is relative. I think we're close. It's not 24 hours or 48 hours close, but I think we, as I've said consistently, I believe that we're moving in the right direction.
So you don't think this will end up in court?
I don't want to jinx it. I think we're moving in the right direction, and while we are moving in the right direction, I want to continue on that path.
Right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.